How does one get started as a promoter?
Well, I come from the house music world before EDM was cool. A lot of us promoters started off, some promoters throwing parties under train tracks. Myself, I started off throwing parties because of a necessity. My mother remarried, it didn't work out well. I lived in houses of my own at 15 or 16 years old. I rented them and I paid for them by throwing house parties, underage house parties, crazy parties, packing them out. And that's what actually brought me into the club promotion world. Wasn't planned on, but that's how it worked out.
So, how do you go from planning house parties to then being a club promoter to then doing festivals? What's the progression there? How does that happen?
Yeah, so the progression of a promoter, not very many like myself had started off doing like illegal outlaw parties. So these parties you go through. So myself doing house parties, getting in trouble. I used to bring. I would sometimes do 200 to 1,000 people in a house. I would then bring. Yes, I got kicked out of a lot of houses. Let's just say. So then I would bring two up to 200 people a night into New York City clubs, like legendary clubs like Tunnel, Limelight, Carbon. And then after I started bringing them in for free, I was like, oh, can I get paid off this? And then they start paying me like $1 a head to bring the people in there. And after I saw that, I was like, I've always been passionate about music ever since I was a kid. My dad drove me into like took me to so many concerts, and I was always into music. So then I was realized like, wow, well, you know what? I'm pretty good at this. Maybe I can instead of getting kicked out of houses, I can make a career out of this, and create a club empire.
What does it take to get established? I mean, until when people begin to trust you with this stuff? Is it just I can bring a lot of people and then they automatically go, oh yeah, okay, go for it.
It takes a lot. So starting off those guest lists, that was nothing. You're just a sub promoter. You're bringing some people in. There's no trust. Then I threw my first successful like solo party in New Jersey, like in 1997. Packed it out with over like 1,500 people on a Wednesday night when nobody partied on Wednesdays. But I made Wednesday happen when everybody said it wouldn't. After that, people started going, "Who's this kid, Tommy D? That's packing out a Wednesday." So then I'd start having club owners call me, and then we'd be working, just not me, but I had a small team at first, one or two people. Then I built it up over like 100 people over years. But we work really hard, 20 hours a day, passing out flyers car to car, outside college campuses, outside nightclubs, and then start packing more nightclubs and more nightclubs. Then I started running a Thursday party, packing that out as one of the most successful parties in New Jersey history. Then as time passed in progression, I started getting called by all the clubs down the Jersey Shore. We want you to pack the club. And over time, me and my team, through our hard work, started packing almost every single club out we were called to. So if you wanted your club packed, you would call us. You would call me. And we would pack your entire nightclub out. We would pack it out between New York, New Jersey. I was a director of Sound Factory, our legendary nightclub in New York City. Um, and then over time, with a lot of hard work and a lot of hard work on my team, we started promoting 5 parties, sometimes a night, 6 nights a week, in the thousands and thousands and thousands, sometimes up to 10,000 people. But that trust came from packing other people's clubs out, the owners, going to those clubs and seeing, wow, this club last week had 50 people. Tommy D came in with his team, definitely. And now there's 3,000 people, but legally, we probably did 6,000 people, but legally 3,000 people. Because you always go over that. That's how it worked, the firearm code. And that was the trust came from your reputation of packing the clubs out, doing the right thing, not getting the club shut down. And that's really, I guess, where that trust came from the nightclub owners in the industry. I guess best I could say.
So, what was your marketing like then? Was it just passing out flyers?
I used every single channel of marketing. I did direct, passing out flyers, face-to-face interaction. Back in the day, I was one of the first ones with a mailing list machine. I remember actually, it was like thing was like this big. Now they just scan your ID at the door, and we would snap your license, and we'd have the VCR tapes, and I'd have my ex-girlfriend and our friends literally going through license by license so we could actually have your address. Then we could then mail it out for the event for the next week. Then as things progressed, it was text messages, social media, when social media wasn't even just started. I ran I ran all MySpaces live events in the entire East Coast. So I was like worked with MySpace as a pioneer of when they broke through in social media scene, which became everything we look at today. I ran all their live events in the East Coast.